Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to Final Fantasy Bestiary. This series is dedicated towards discovering the history and lore behind Final Fantasy's most iconic creatures and characters, and like last episode, we'll be looking at another popular item in the series, the Ultimate Weapon. The Ultimate Weapon is a term that can be used to describe multiple weapons across the Final Fantasy series. Early on, it adopted popular names, changing from game to game and even in the remakes of each title. In many games, every different character or class has its own ultimate weapon. However, the weapon was eventually deemed the Ultima Weapon, sharing its name with the popular super boss we covered in an earlier bestiary. The weapon and the super boss are sometimes linked, with the weapon being obtained from the boss. In some games, the weapon is instead obtained through a series of quests that cause the forging of the weapon. The Ultima Weapon itself is usually a weapon comprised of multiple blue colors and a slightly detailed handle. The power of this weapon is also usually tied in some way to the player, most often drawing its power from the wielder's health. The higher the HP of the player, whether it be by number or percentage, helps determine the weapon's damage. This makes it extremely effective if a high-level character is at full HP, but practically a liability at low HP. Its appearance can even change when its wielder is injured. The weapon's first real appearance was in Final Fantasy VI, initially called the Atma Weapon in the English translation of the game. It was found in the Cave to the Sealed Gate, and is believed to be related to the Ultima Weapon creature, as they were both created during the War of the Magi and share the same name. The sword has the maximum attack stat, but its actual damage is calculated based on the equipped character's level and current health. When the user's HP is near max, it does very high damage, and the sword itself appears full in size. At low health, it does low damage and the sword shrinks to a measly dagger. Fun fact about the Ultima Weapon of Final Fantasy VI, in League of Legends there used to exist an item called Atma's Impaler, which granted the user bonus attack damage based on a percentage of their maximum HP. Atma's Impaler was inspired from the mistranslation of the Atma Weapon in Final Fantasy VI, which is why both weapons share similar names and deal damage based on maximum HP. After that release, the weapon has appeared in almost every Final Fantasy game, whether it be a new title or a remake. It was implemented in the Dawn of Souls version of Final Fantasy I into Whisperwind Cove. This is fitting since the dungeon contained bosses from Final Fantasy VI, where the weapon premiered anyway. It also appeared in the remakes of Final Fantasy III, a reward from some of the Mognet quests involving the legendary Smith. The Ultima Weapon is only the second strongest weapon in this game based on attack rating, but it is far more usable than the first place weapon, the Onion Sword. While the weapon skips the remakes and re-releases of Final Fantasies II and IV, it did make an appearance in the after years, where the Ultima Weapon creature drops his own sword. Its appearance is also quite different, appearing as just a dark blue iron sword. And finally, among the old titles, it appeared in the re-release of Final Fantasy V. After defeating Neo Shinryu, it can be found within that same chest, similar to how Shinryu guarded the Ragnarok in the original Final Fantasy V. From this point on, the Ultima Weapon would become exclusive to each game's main protagonist. The appearance of the weapon most people may be familiar with is in Final Fantasy VII. In this game, it was a reward for defeating the Ultimate Weapon creature over the Cosmo Canyon. Its appearance has a light bluish color for the blade, with the center being a darker blue. Similar to the Final Fantasy VI version, the Ultima Weapon's appearance changed depending on Cloud's HP. If his HP is low, the weapon will begin to lose opacity and appear darker than usual. The same version of that weapon goes on to appear in Final Fantasy VIII, where the Ultima Weapon creature actually wields it against the party. Despite this, the Ultima Weapon has a different name and appearance in Final Fantasy VIII. It instead appears as the Lionheart, Squall's ultimate gunblade. While the handle is mostly like other gunblades in the game, the weapon itself appears closer to its Final Fantasy VI counterpart, looking more like pure energy than an actual blade. It also unlocks the limit break of the same name, which is a powerful multi-hit ability. It can be crafted like all other weapons in the game, though it requires a special magazine in order to discover the recipe for it. It can also be obtained on the first disc if the player follows the right step to discover the magazine and farm all of the needed materials. In Final Fantasy IX, the weapon is again exclusive to the main protagonist, Zidane. Using the Chocobo Hot and Cold game, you are able to locate the weapon in the water where the Shimmering Islands used to be on Disc 4. Its appearance is similar in nature to Cloud's weapon, though with two shorter blades at each end of a polearm. Despite being Zidane's ultimate weapon, it is only the second strongest weapon in this game, behind the Excalibur II for Steiner, a weapon that is only obtainable through reaching Disc 4 and the weapon's location in under 12 hours total gameplay. In Final Fantasy X, the Ultima Weapon again appears as Tidus's ultimate weapon. While it is actually called the Ultima Weapon in most ports of the game, it was renamed the Kalidbolg in the English translation for whatever reason. It does, however, retain the ability to ignore defense, break the damage limit of 9,999, and deal more damage if Tidus is at higher HP. The weapon wouldn't appear in Final Fantasy XI or the original Final Fantasy XII, though it does make an appearance in Revenant Wings as a weapon for Vaan. It does make its next and last appearance among the main numbered series in Final Fantasy XIII. Unlike its previous appearance, this weapon is actually quite weak, though it does allow lightning to instantly stagger an enemy if they have over 90% stagger. It is created by transmuting a lion heart, a reference to Final Fantasy VIII's Ultima Weapon no doubt, and can be further enhanced into an even stronger weapon, the Omega Weapon. It also appears in Lightning Returns as the final and most powerful weapon Lightning can obtain before facing off against Bunavelza. If the player so chooses, they can attempt to complete 4 trials before the final boss room, and will be rewarded with the Ultima Weapon should they succeed. It is actually an upgrade of the first sword you get in the game, the Crimson Blitz, and your initial shield, the Night Lotus, actually becomes the Ultima Shield. Both of these items revert to their weaker form should you trigger New Game Plus. Now, of course, the Ultima Weapon has appeared in a handful of other Final Fantasy titles. It even appears in the Kingdom Hearts series as an Ultimate Keyblade. With a long history of appearances to live up to, it will be no surprise if Noctis is able to obtain an Ultima Weapon in Final Fantasy 15. Hopefully, we'll find out more about that soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and check out the rest of my Bestiary series on my YouTube channel as well. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and until next time, take care.